Okay, so welcome back to In the Kitchen with Jelly 007.com, also known as John Sanders. And tonight, I'm taking a recipe that I've used on the grill a bunch of times, and I've already done it, and it works excellent. I found it online where someone had done it. Actually, I found it on Ninja's website, and they have a version of this that I took and changed a little bit. Now, their website, they call for frozen salmon. Or salmon, whatever you say. I say salmon. And I'm going to use fresh. I rarely ever use anything other. It's easy to get. There's no reason for me to, anyhow, that doesn't need to be said. I'm going to use fresh. Now, I'm using cedar plank. Cedar plank salmon, to me, it adds a little bit of a gimmicky kind of deal to it. It really does. It does add some flavor. I'm not saying, you know, I can pick up a little flavor it leaves on it. And one thing it does when you cook it in the Ninja with it is it kind of adds that cedar smoke smell slightly to your house. Not like, unless you leave it on too long. If you don't leave it on too long, it'll just leave a nice cedar smell in the house. And that's just kind of another added benefit to it. Now, I have the piece that I had to cut down in the sink, soaking in water. It has to be in there, they say, for an hour, as long as you can leave it. It doesn't matter how long you leave it. I would do it at least an hour, though. That might keep it from, you know, getting a little too hot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 3 fillets out about this length. That's about all I found the other night that I could get in here. And I cut the board down to 7 inches long. And that gives it a little room for air to flow around it. And you want that, because we're going to run air crisp on it. So what I'm going to do is get this started up. Now, one other thing I say too is this is what I used the other night. It worked excellent. I'm sure you've got recipes for it. A teriyaki would work. A lot of things would. In fact, but this right here, it's sesame ginger by Lawry's. And you can make your own. Well, I was fixing to say you can make your own, but that right there is hard to beat. I'll say it if you like sesame and ginger. So, and I also keep some sesame seeds that I sprinkle on it for looks and taste. It looked really well the other night. We'll see how it does tonight. Again, I'm fixing to cut 3 pieces in here. I got that piece of board I'm going to put that's soaking in water. We're going to get it in here, get it started. I'm going to show you what I think is one of the better recipes that the Ninja does, and it does it fantastic. I also have rice going over here in my Instapot. So I'll be right back. Y'all hang on. We're going to get this started. Okay, so here they are. I have trimmed them down to fit the board. I brushed them lightly with the sesame ginger on all sides I could get to. And it is skin-on salmon. So I did spray the board with some olive oil just because I'll have to get those off at the end. And that is one thing I'll say right quick that I'm considering doing it in a different setting, is I may cut these boards to about this width and then place them in separate, and that way you serve them on that board. But the other night, I didn't have any problem with it sticking. I was able to get them off, and I did the same thing. I just lightly sprayed that board with some olive oil. So, what we're going to do now, we're going to set this in the Ninja. And there's no pressure cooking in this recipe, by the way. We're going to do air crisp at 400 degrees for 10 minutes. And when that is done, we're going to do a temperature read just to make sure, but actually we're going to do more than that. So it's going to cook a little longer because we're going to broil on top too. So we'll probably read it, just see where it's at. I'm looking for around 135, 140. I mean, I've eaten salmon as sushi many times, so I'm not really worried about it getting, if it doesn't get, you know, really hot. But the other night I had no problem getting to 140. Anyhow, we're off and running, and I will be right back when that counts down a little bit, and we'll take a look at them and a temp read. See you then. Okay, so just to be on the safe side, we're at just under 2 minutes, and you can see right here, it says you can sneak a peek, so that's what we're going to do. I just don't want them to get too far, and they look fantastic. In fact, I'll show them to you. They look great. So that's a little over 8 minutes, and we'll see what this thickest one is, and I'm not expecting it to be where it's got to be, but that is 93. But you will be surprised how fast it goes up, and the carryover, see, it's a little, they're all a little different. They pick up a little different, but it's salmon. I mean, I eat it raw all the time, so I'm not concerned a lot with the temp. I'm kind of doing that for people that might be. But that one that was 93, we'll check it again in a minute. I'll guarantee you, either with carryover or with this more cooking, it's going to go up in a hurry. But I'll be right back. Okay, so we're at the end of the 10 minutes. I'm gonna let it go through its little cool down feature just because. I don't really know why, but it offers it, so I'm doing it. And then we're going to brush them one more time. And there's how they look right now, which is excellent. And I tell you what, we'll read it again, although I've said it too many times, but I'm not real concerned with the temp. I'm just not. Okay, there's the same one stuck in the same place. It's already went up 9 degrees, or almost 10. There it goes 10 degrees. So, I mean, I think you can go with time on this, but if you're concerned with eating raw fish, then definitely, use an instant read. Now, I'm going to brush them again, kind of heavy, a little heavier than I did a while ago. And then we're going to put a broil feature on them. So I'm going to try and hurry this up just a little bit. Keep from using too much time on the camera. Video length. And that right there should be good. Dab a little bit more right here. It's going to run down. And I am happy with that. So now, lid back down. Broil feature. You can't get it. You don't get a time on broil. You just get temp. So it's on, and we'll say it don't matter how long. We're going to do 10, and then we're going to do the sneak a peek till it looks like we want, which will probably be 2, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. But I'll be back in just a second. We'll let that run a minute, and we'll open it up and look at it. Okay, so that's 2 minutes. Let's look, and I'm going to let it go just a little bit longer, maybe a minute. But I mean, well, let me show you right here. See how it's doing that right there? I kind of like that. I think it gives it a good flavor. And I want this right here a little bit more, but I want to get that lid back down and get that broil feature back on. So, in a minute. Okay, so we're 8 seconds away. I will say, I'm way more concerned with overcooking my fish than I am undercooking. Undercooked's not going to bother me, but that's it. I'm done with it. That looks excellent. I don't think you can beat that. That is some, and I tell you from the other night, it's excellent. It's really good tasting. The house has a soy ginger and a slight cedar smell. It's pretty neat. It's a good way of doing it. It's really neat. I never would have thought about doing a cedar plank in the Ninja. I just ran across it in their website, and then when I did look on it a little bit, there's other people have done it. So I'm going to get that out. We're going to let it rest. I'll show you another temp read in just a minute, because I promise you it's probably hotter than I want. But we're going to get it out of there and get that done and show you what it looks like cut up. Okay, so there they are. And just for the record, we're going to look at the temp on that big piece, because they've set out for about 5 minutes or maybe or so. And we're looking for 140 is what I want. I mean, that would suit me, and we are close enough. We're definitely, now the other ones I got a feeling they're going to be a little over, but I don't think it'll be a crisis. In fact, not as bad as I thought. I'm not even going to measure the other one. That's what they call for. I think it's 140, 145. But now all we have to do, I put some sesame seeds on it. All I did was just sprinkle sesame seeds on it, and I think that's kind of, I mean, it helps looks and taste, as I said. I got to find my little spatula thing. But this is what a little bit concerns me a little bit. So I'm afraid it's going to stick to the wood and I can't get the skin and all. But I haven't had that problem, and I'm not having that problem now. So I'm fixing to cut that up. We're going to see how it looks. Y'all give me a second. I'm going to get some rice on my plate and for my Instant Pot over there, and I'll be right back. Okay, for the real test to see just how it looks, and I might have did that a little wrong, but you can see that is excellently cooked salmon. I don't know how you would beat that. I doubt a restaurant you go to will. I mean, that is absolutely excellent. And I assure you that it is. And it really is. Okay, so to wrap this up a little bit, I wanted to say a couple of things that I think would help. One is the Ninja recipe. It calls for a plank, a cedar plank that's 7 by 7. Well, that would be key. I couldn't find one that was 7 wide. And I measured the Ninja top, that rack that I had it on, and it would accept a 7 by 7, and that would be excellent because you could get one more piece of fish on. So if you had couples over or whatever, you know, if you wanted, instead of just 3 pieces, because that's pretty maxed out what I've got with 3 pieces. But with the 7 by 7, I feel positive you could get 4 fillets just like I did. But I mean, if you look at the simplicity and the quickness of this, I mean, you cook your rice or whatever in another pot, and this is sitting here, and it took, what, 5 minutes to cut that salmon up and brush it with the stuff. I put it in here for 10 at air crisp, and then I did 2 minutes under broil. So under 20 minutes, you can have a meal ready, and it would be excellent for that. And you get the smell in the house. Plus, it could be the middle of the winter, you know, like you can't go outside and do that on the grill. And it's got a great flavor. It's there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's no different than the grill. Same way the grill does. When you pick up the cedar flavor like you do on the grill. Anyhow, quit harping on that. Excellent recipe, quick and easy. Thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching my videos. And y'all come back to see me. Like, share, subscribe, all of the above. And y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.